Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So we are done with preparation. Now we have to start with reaction of haloalkanes. Before this, there was physical properties. Physical properties are also important because at times when they form questions, they will say a colorless gas A reacts with a blue liquid like that. Okay. So
Okay.
you'll have to remember which colorless gas they might be, or a colorless haloalkane. So you'll have to remember which is the haloalkane which is colorless.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so physical properties you have to remember. So I'm not doing it right now, but I'm not doing it right now, but you will have to do this on your own. Okay,
Okay.
physical, or do you want me to do it?
Is it different for everything?
No, they will not give you physical properties of everything, obviously, but they'll give you a general physical properties like solubility, like boiling, melting point, etc.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so for example, um, okay, I'll give you a few points. Right
Okay.
on. Put the heading physical properties and write down. First one, alkyl halides are colorless when pure. Alkyl halides are colorless when pure.
Yeah.
Then this has a sub note. Bromides and iodides develop color when exposed to light. Bromides and iodides develop color when exposed to light.
Okay.
Next, the boiling points of alkyl halides are considerably higher. The boiling points of alkyl halides are considerably higher. The boiling point of alkyl halides
Yeah.
are considerably higher than the hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass. Than the hydrocarbons, than that those of hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass. Now, this question can come as a why, a give reason question also. So,
Okay.
can you tell me why is the boiling point of alkyl halides higher than the hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass?
Because of the induced dipole attraction.
Not correct. It's not induced; it's a permanent dipole.
Yeah.
So, dipole-dipole interaction because of dipole dipole
Interaction.
interaction that is present here but not present in hydrocarbons. This have a comparably higher boiling point.
Yes.
Okay, can you write that quickly? Just write down dipole dipole interaction. I think you'll understand the rest. No.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Hmm. Okay, for the same alkyl group, write down next point. For the same alkyl group, the boiling points of alkyl halide follows the order. The boiling points of alkyl halide follows the order
Yeah.
Can you see what I've written on the board?
Yes.
Please write it down. For the same, if R is same, for example, if I'm comparing methyl iodide will have the highest boiling point, then methyl bromide, then methyl chloride, then methyl fluoride.
Got it.
Okay, that is why I said for the same alkyl halide.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Okay, now can you tell me why? What is the reason for this?
Is it because iodine can easily be polarized?
No.
No. Then I do not know.
Radha, with the increase in size and mass of halogen atom, with the increase in size and mass of halogen atom, the magnitude of van der Waals forces increases. So boiling point depends on these intermolecular forces, no?
Yeah.
So with the increase in this thing, so dipole-dipole interaction is already there. Okay, because of either of them, because they're all electronegative. Okay,
But if
what else is coming? Huh?
if van der Waals forces are decreasing, then polarizability is increasing, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you'll have to answer in boiling point with respect that your answer was not wrong. Okay, but what are the forces that come into picture when you're talking about boiling point? They are intermolecular forces. So, Adi talked about in the previous one when you were comparing this thing, alkyl halides and haloalkanes. Sorry, alkyl halides and hydrocarbons. Then you wrote about dipole-dipole interactions. When you talk about alkyl halides among each other, then you will talk about the next one. The other one that is coming to picture is van der Waals force.
Yes.
Yeah. So with the increase in size and mass of halogen atom, the magnitude of van der Waals forces increases.
Yeah.
So CH3I has the maximum van der Waals forces. That is why we will have maximum boiling.
Got it.
And as you go down, the van der Waals force decreases.
Yeah.
Next, this is very important. The next one, please write down. The boiling point of isomeric haloalkanes, the boiling point of isomeric haloalkanes decrease with increase in branching. Decrease with increase in branching.
Got it.
If you have more branching, that means more steric hindrance is coming into picture.
Yes. So more van der
The more steric hindrance comes into picture, the more the entire chain will be strained.
Yes.
Right? If there is more strain, then you have less forces between them.
Yeah.
The forces will go in order to keep them stable, and that will decrease your intermolecular forces. If your intermolecular forces are decreased, then your boiling point is less because you'll have to give it less temperature to break them down.
Got it.
So which among them will have the highest boiling point? I'm going to name them first. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Can you put them in order?
3, 2, 1.
3 has the least, then 2,
And
then 1. Why? Because this has the least branching, then this has one step ahead, and this has more branching.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now when it compares to ortho and para and meta, can you talk about boiling point?
Ortho will have the most.
Ortho will have the highest boiling point,
Yeah.
then meta, then
Para.
para. Can you talk about melting point?
It will be the other way around, right?
Other way around, correct. Because the one that has more structure, that will have more well-defined structure, will have more melting point.
Yes.
So para has the most well-defined structure. It will have more melting points. Okay. Can you write these both down? You have to write down about branching and you write down ortho para meta. You have to write down about both boiling and melting point.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Okay. Now about density. So
We have,
density will increase due to two factors, right?
yeah,
Can you tell me the two factors?
number of halogen atoms.
Not number of. Okay. Let's talk about monohalo. Okay.
Okay,
So first number of carbons, right? If there are more number of carbons, then it is more dense.
more
If it is
dense.
less number of carbon, it is less dense.
Yeah,
Then which one is it? Is it I? It is Br? Is it Cl? Or is it F? Because this one obviously is most dense.
bromine and iodine are dense, chlorine and fluorine are not.
That that's where so if you have this and this, then the compound will be more dense.
Yeah,
Then you have to check what is the number of carbons and which one is the halogen.
got it.
Okay. So bromo, iodo, and polychloro derivatives of hydrocarbons are heavier than water. So you can write down the next statement. Please write down under density. The density increases with increase the number of carbon atoms. The density increases with increase in number of carbon atoms, comma, halogen atoms, and atomic mass of halogen atoms. The density increases with the number of carbon atoms, halogen atoms, and atomic mass of halogen atoms.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Okay, now next write down solubility. This is the last this thing that you have to physical property that you have to focus on, and is also very important.
They are
Solubility.
insoluble, right?
They are
Insoluble.
no insoluble. They are very slightly soluble. They are polar, no,
Yeah, but
and
they
water
can't.
is
But they
water is
can't
polar.
form hydrogen bonds. So.
That listen to me. You have they both are polar,
Okay.
so they will definitely be soluble. But depends on how soluble they are. Now, how soluble they are depends on if they will have the same magnitude of hydrogen bonding or not. So clearly the answer is no. They will not have as strong
Yeah.
hydrogen bonding as water molecules have among them. Correct?
Yeah.
So they will only be slightly soluble because of this. So this is a very good question. Like they may ask you this question: why are haloalkanes? You can write this question and answer that. Why is haloalkanes only slightly soluble in water? And I would like to hear the answer. Why are haloalkanes only slightly soluble in water?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Can you give me the answer?
The answer I haven't written,
You
but
have not written.
I'll just say it first, then I write.
Hmm.
Uh, they are only slightly soluble in water because the strength of attraction between the water molecules is not as strong as the hydrogen bonds formed between the haloalkane and water.
Okay, not bad. So I'm going to read an entire paragraph to you. Then you can write the answer correctly. Okay.
Okay.
The haloalkanes are only very slightly soluble in water In order for a haloalkane to dissolve in water, energy is required to overcome the attraction between the haloalkane's molecules and break the hydrogen bonds between water molecules. Less energy is released when new attractions are set up between the haloalkane and the water molecules, as these are not as strong as the original hydrogen bonds in water. As a result, the solubility of haloalkanes in water is low. Is that clear?
Got it.
Write down the answer now. So will they be able to dissolve in other organic solvents?
Yeah, they can easily
They
dissolve.
can dissolve other organic solvents because wherever there is not so much hydrogen bonding.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is next?
Next, next we are doing chemical reactions.
Okay.
First, you do this. Write a question. Arrange set of compounds and out of their increasing boiling points.
Okay. First,
This
I can just tell you the answer.
no, you write down the question and you this thing and answer it. I'm writing one more.
Okay.
And I want a reason also, okay? First one, when you're done, let me know.
Yeah, first one I'm done.
Okay, tell me.
First is chloromethane, then
Very good.
bromo,
One.
then bromoethane,
Bromoethane.
it's
Then,
then dibromomethane
correct.
and bromoform.
Correct. Why? Because molecular mass is
Increasing.
increasing and boiling point increases with the increase in molecular mass.
Yeah,
Next,
I'll just do that.
first is 1 chloropropane, isopropyl chloride, and 1 chlorobutane. If the writing is not clear.
Okay, I'll just do it. Yeah, I got it.
Third,
First is isopropyl chloride,
correct,
then 1 chloropropane,
correct.
and then 1 chlorobutane.
Can you tell me why?
Because branching, isopropyl
Ah,
chloride has the most
correct.
branching.
Branching. The reason here is branching. Okay, correct. Now we can go to chemical reactions.
Yeah.
Now they show three kinds of chemical reaction. You can write this, okay? The haloalkanes show three kinds of chemical reactions. One is the nucleophilic reaction. Okay. Hey! Come here. Get outside. Nucleophilic addition. Then you have elimination. Then you have reaction with metal. Okay.
Yeah.
So this reaction with metal is the most important reaction in your elements.
Okay.
I mean, in one of the most important reaction in your haloalkanes, halogenes, halobes. And here, SN1, SN2, they are mostly asked to differentiate between them. So this question and this question are important. Here, the question may ask you the use of Markovnikov rule or Setzeff rule. So Setzeff is the opposite of Markovnikov rule. Okay.
Okay.
Markovnikov rule is for addition reactions, right?
Yeah.
Setzeff rule is for elimination reaction. Same thing. So this is for hydrohalogenation reaction and this is for dehydrohalogenation reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the three important reactions in your syllabus. There are many more, but these are the most important ones.
Got it.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we have discussed this. I think we have. Do you remember ambident nucleophile?
No.
I feel like I've discussed this. Okay. Like you have,
I don't remember.
let's talk about CN. So this can, when it attaches itself from C, then it's cyanide. When it attaches itself
Oh yes, we did that.
from N, then it is called isonitrile or just isocyanide or nitrile. Okay.
So these are
So
called.
this compound has two centers. One is carbon, one is N, from where it can attach to.
Yeah.
So any nucleophile having more than one center to attach itself to an alkyl chain is called ambident nucleophile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please do not forget this. We have done several examples. Remember?
Yeah,
NO2
we did this and NO2 and CN. Yeah, CN we did.
and okay. We did so many others. Okay, fine. So now we'll start. You have written the types of reaction. We'll start with the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay. So sorry, I had written nucleophilic addition. It was not addition. It was nucleophilic substitution.
Oh, okay.
So nucleophilic substitution is best shown as you have C, and you have X. So obviously you have a partial negative charge here, partial positive charge here. Okay. Then a nucleophile is in the surrounding. That nucleophile is going to attack the positive pole of your dipole. Okay.
Yeah.
Hence, it will give you Nu plus X minus. Okay, so the nucleophile is substituted at the position of the X. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
It's
Now
basically a single displacement, right?
this is a displacement reaction.
Yeah.
Can you write this reaction under the heading nucleophilic substitution?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Now, nucleophilic substitution happens in two things. Now, before I go to nucleophilic substitution, I would like to discuss another part of 12th that you have not done yet in physical chemistry, because that is very important. Okay. Last year, do you remember doing law of mass action?
We did not do law of mass action.
So there is something called law of mass action, which says that this will come in your chapter chemical kinetics this year.
Okay.
It's called rate laws. You have A and B giving products. Okay. So the rate law says that, a law of mass action says that the rate of this reaction, how fast or how speed this reaction is going to be, will be determined only by the reactant. Okay. Only the reactant will determine how fast or slow the reaction is going to be. Okay.
Okay.
So then there are several theories that tells you how a reaction really happens. One of those theories is called collision theory. Have you heard about that?
No.
Uh, So collision theory says that in order for a reaction to happen, two molecules have to collide with each other. Now, this collision, any random collision will not give you products. There are conditions. So the conditions are, if the collision has to happen, the collision needs to happen with the molecules having a minimum amount of energy, which we call threshold energy. Okay. And then not only the energy is enough, the collision should also happen at a proper orientation. So what is required? A minimum energy is required, okay, and proper orientation is required. If you have minimum energy and if the molecules are colliding at a proper orientation, then only you'll get your required product.
Got it.
If you don't have minimum energy, then the reaction may not happen. If the proper orientation is not there, then even if the reaction is happening, you may end up getting a byproduct instead of a required product.
This is law of collision, right?
This is collision theory. Yes.
Oh, collision theory. Okay.
Collision theory of chemical reaction. Now, in this collision theory, there is a term called molecularity. Molecularity means the number of molecules actually colliding in order to give the reaction. For example, if same kind of this thing, like H and H are colliding to give you H2, then this reaction will be called unimolecular, or molecularity equals to 1.
Okay.
Okay, but for example, if H and O are colliding to give you H2O,
Two.
then you will call this
Diamond.
bimolecular.
Oh, bi. Okay.
Bimolecular, okay? Meaning molecularity is 2.
Two. Yeah.
Now, molecularity is something that will depend on the reaction. Now, in detail of that, we will do in chemical kinetics. Right now, I just wanted to explain you what is molecularity. If just one kind of molecule collide, then you will call it unimolecular. If more than one kind of molecule are colliding, then you will call it bimolecular.
Got it.
Is that clear? Why is this? Why was I required to explain you this term? Because of the name. Now, the first reaction that you have to study, SN1 or SN2 reaction. Now, its name is substitution nucleophilic, and you would be right if you guessed bimolecular.
And
Okay, so the 2 stands for bimolecular. N stands for nucleophilic. S stands for substitution.
Okay.
Okay, so what? Then write down the first chemical reaction in your syllabus. Very important. Substitution nucleophilic bimolecular, and its nickname is SN2.
So SN1 is substitution nucleophilic monomolecular.
Hmm. Now, one more thing that I want to discuss here, which I missed in telling when I was telling about biomolecularity. When molecularity is 2, okay, that means that the reaction is bimolecular. That means the rate of reaction depends on both the reactants. Okay, both reactants will decide how fast or slow the reaction is going to be.
Okay.
Okay, if it is unimolecular, then one of the reactant only will decide how fast or slow the reaction is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, clear?
Yes.
All right, now write down this. Now we will write in points. First, SN2 reaction follows second order kinetics.
What does that mean?
That means, I'll tell you, write down. SN2 reaction follows. So once you have done chemical kinetics, this statement will become very clear to you. So right now you just write it down.
Okay.
So, and this is a very important point. Okay, the SN2 reaction follows second order kinetics. That is, the rate of the reaction will depend on the rate of the reaction will depend on both the reactants.
Yeah, got it.
So let's say you have, I'm taking the example of methyl chloride.
Yeah,
Methyl chloride is being attacked by hydroxide ion. Okay. What happens is this reaction follows a intermediate, sorry, reaction does not make an intermediate. It follows a transition step. Now there is a difference. An intermediate is formed, but a transition state is just like it is like it's a transition. Like for example, you're going on a train, right?
oh, I know
Now
this
there,
one.
huh?
I remember doing this in school.
So transition state is like a station where you don't stop.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
the
Whereas
chlorine,
a intermediate is a station where you stop.
yeah,
Got it? So now see this C will be like this.
yeah, the chlorine and hydroxide will have slight negative charges.
So they both are attached in
Yeah,
this transition state.
yeah,
The only difference is chlorine is slowly leaving and OH is slowly getting
got it.
attached.
Yeah,
Now this is highly unstable. Why? Because for a second carbon is attached for some time. No, no, take a second. For some time, carbon is attached to both hydroxide and chlorine,
yeah.
making it highly unstable. This is transition state. This will break, and what will happen?
Chlorine will go.
Can you tell me? Sorry, this is hydrogen. Can you tell me some change? Can you see any optical change here?
Yeah, the it inverts optically.
Yes. So this SN2 reaction follows inversion of configuration.
Yeah,
Okay, now we have to write down the points. The first point was this reaction follows second order kinetics. The second point was the incoming group attaches itself while the leaving group is leaving. So in the transition stage, the carbon is attached to like five atoms, making it highly unstable.
got it.
Then you write down the reaction. Then you write down the next the product or the SN2 reaction follows inversion of configuration, but because the product has its spatial integrity inverted.
Yeah,
Okay, write this much.
I wrote it.
Okay, written. All these points are written properly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, now let's talk about primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary.
Those
Okay.
are rates, right?
How will so if I have like you have methyl. Now if you have C CH3 H and X, then you have CH3 CH3 H and X, and then you have CH3 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 X. Okay. Now this the first one is 0 degrees,
Yeah,
correct?
so primary.
This is 0 degree, this is 1 degree, this
2
is two
degree,
degree,
3
and
degree.
this is 3 degree.
So 0 degree will have the fastest reaction, 3 degree will have the lowest.
Why?
Because 3 degree will have much more steric hindrance.
Yes.
So
So this has a lot of steric hindrance.
yeah,
So where will your attacking reagent come from? Right?
yeah,
And this has a little this thing, but then you see this has the least. Here anywhere it can
yeah.
attack from.
There's no steric hindrance.
Huh? That is why, because of increase in steric hindrance, the incoming molecules will, the incoming nucleophile is gonna find a lot of hindrance for for its attachment, right?
Yeah.
In the third one. So that will, the rate of reactivity depends on both of them. It depends on this also, it depends on the OH also. So
Yeah.
because of OH being not allowed to come here easily, the reactivity based on that will decrease. So that's the order of reactivity decreases as you go from 0 degree to 3 degree.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when we talk about, what do you think will be the order of reactivity here?
Order of reactivity.
Yes. With
Uh,
RI, RBR, RCl, and R.
it will Ri will have the most, right? Will be the most reactive. No, Rf will be the most reactive.
Can you explain why RF will be the most reactive?
I just thought because fluorine is generally the most electronegative, so it will.
But it is then, but fluorine will not want to let go of methyl. No? Methyl is electron donating group.
Oh yeah. Okay, then Ri will be the most reactive.
Ri will the, because you have, it has to leave,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got
which
it.
leaves easily will become most reactive.
Understood.
So I being bigger and having a lot of electron will leave easily.
Yeah, so it will be the most reactive.
Can you write both these? They're very important. Written?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Okay. Now write down the heading SN1. Substitution nucleophilic unimolecule. Substitution nucleophilic unimolecular. Unimolecular means it will depend on only one of the reactants.
Got it.
ओके ना, देखो सबसे पहले जो तुमको बात लिखनी है, पहले मैं समझा दे रहा हूँ फिर हम ये बात लिखेंगे, ठीक है?
Yeah.
This reaction starts with the formation of a carbocation. मतलब कि तुम्हारे पास ये था, ठीक है? ओके, सो X has to leave without any, मतलब बिफोर न्यूक्लियोफाइल अटैक कर सके उससे पहले X को यहां से निकलना होगा, ठीक है?
Yeah.
क्या ये ऐसे हो जाएगा अपने आप ही? दिस इज अनस्टेबल,
No.
दिस इज अ स्लो रिएक्शन. ये स्लो रिएक्शन इसीलिए है बिकॉज ये ए फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कार्बोकेटायन हो रहा है. कार्बोकेटायन तो अनस्टेबल मॉलिक्यूल है, तो एक स्टेबल मॉलिक्यूल से एक अनस्टेबल मॉलिक्यूल को बनाना इज नॉट अ फास्ट रिएक्शन, दैट बी अ स्लो रिएक्शन.
Yeah.
लेकिन ये हो रही है, क्यों हो रही है? कुछ तो इसका वो होगा. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी नीड अ पोलर प्रोटिक सॉल्वेंट. क्या चाहिए हमको?
Polar protic. What is
हाँ,
protic?
protic. Do you remember I told you H plus is called proton in organic chemistry?
Yeah,
क्यों?
because it has the single positive charge like a.
हाँ, इसके पास सिर्फ एक ही प्रोटॉन है ही,
Hmm.
तो इसको हम प्रोटॉन भी बोल सकते हैं, ठीक है?
Okay.
लाइक ओके, हैव यू रेड हैरी पॉटर?
No.
इफ यू हैड टोल्ड मी दैट बिफोर, आई टुक यू एज अ स्टूडेंट. नो, read it. How can you not read it?
It's boring. I tried once. It's just boring.
Now that I'm taking you as a student, I can't leave you. So let's just move on. It was very hurtful though.
Yeah. got it. Nice.
Anyway, moving on. So polar तो समझ में आ गया ना तुम्हें क्या होता है polar? It should be polar. Protic मतलब something that can furnish a proton. Okay, that means that can furnish an H plus. So ये mostly acid होगा, HX, HCl like that. Okay.
Got it.
So ये because तब जाके ये जो H plus होंगे ये उसको you remember solvation? We had discussed solvation once.
Oh yeah, kind of. Solvation was when.
जब solvent molecules surround your ion to stabilize that a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm drawing?
Yeah, I can see it.
हाँ. So इसको कहते हैं solvation. ठीक है? तो अगर तुमने polar protic solvent लिया है तो solvation की वजह से ये जो तुम्हारा X माइनस बाहर आएगा वो तुम्हारा क्या हो जाएगा स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा ओके लेकिन ये भी सॉल्वेशन से स्टेबलाइज होगा लेकिन इतना भी सॉल्वेशन नहीं होना चाहिए कि आगे रिएक्शन ही ना हो पाए करेक्ट दे शुड नॉट बी दैट सराउंडेड कि इनकमिंग न्यूक्लियोफाइल आके अटैक ही ना कर पाए okay so now you write down the first point in this reaction is कि requires a polar protic solvent for initiation requires a polar protic solvent for initiation. Second, so it can be anything. It can be water, it can be alcohol, it can be acid. Okay?
Yeah.
It should be polar and it should be able to furnish H plus. Okay?
Got it.
Alright. Now likho, this happens in two steps. This reaction happens in two steps. ये the पहले SN2 reaction थी, if you remember, that happened in one step only. ठीक है?
Yeah.
लेकिन ये रिएक्शन वन स्टेप रिएक्शन नहीं है ये रिएक्शन दो स्टेप में होगी ओके
Okay.
द फर्स्ट इज द स्लो स्टेप द फर्स्ट रिएक्शन also happens in two steps
So it forms an intermediate.
yes the intermediate is carbocation
Got it.
third point में you'll actually write the step so mechanism step 1 formation of carbocation. Now, formation of carbocation is obviously a very slow step. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it a slow step? Because obviously you're forming a. Give me a second, okay? Get inside. Get inside. So formation of carbocation. No. अभी बात करें तुम कहते पहले किचन साफ कर लो हाँ फिर मैं कॉल करके बात करवा रहा हूँ So you have this. So here I'm going to put RRR. That will form your plus X minus, which is a slow step. Okay. The second step is attack of nucleophile. Okay.
Got it.
This carbocation on that your nucleophile will attack, forming your alcohol that's forming as alcohol. This is the fast step.
Yeah.
ठीक है? Now written all those.
Yes, I wrote it.
हाँ, अब वापस हम अपनी रिएक्टिविटी चेक करने पे आते हैं. हाँ, I forgot to make it right. This is a first order kinetics. This reaction follows first order kinetics. That is, the rate of the reaction depends only on one. You see, it depends on this entirely.
Got it.
Okay? Only the haloalkane decides how fast or slow the reaction is.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about. Have you written it? Should I talk about this?
Yeah, you can write it out.
So let's talk about order of reactivity. You have 0 degree, 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree. And in the other sense, you have Ri plus, sorry, Ri, RBr, RCl, and RF. Now, can you tell me with reason why will be the reactivities? How will be the reactivities and how?
Ri will be the most reactive.
Again, the same thing here. Why?
Yeah.
Because again, it has to leave. So whichever one leaves easiest will have the most reactive. So in SN1 also the order of reactivity for these are same.
Yeah.
Ri the most reactive, then RBr, then RCl, then RS. Now let's talk about 0 degree, 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree.
3 degree will be the most reactive.
Yes, because once the carbocation formed, it has to be stable enough and it has to stable enough for long enough so that the OH can attack.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so the more stable the carbocation, the more SN1 will be preferred.
Yeah.
So sometimes they may ask you the question for the given substrate, will SN1 be preferred or SN2 be preferred? So you will check. Okay, is the carbocation more stable or is the reaction gonna be, or is the like you'll check if the carbocation is more stable, then chances are the reaction will happen follow SN1 this thing.
Got it.
Right, written this.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to give you two pairs. You have to identify which one will, in the following pairs of halogen compounds, which would undergo SN2 reaction faster.
Okay.
Can you get the question? In the
Yes.
given following pairs of halogen compounds, which would undergo SN2 faster?
Okay. Which will undergo SN2 faster.
Yes, SN2 fast. Along with reason, obviously. Sorry, not all of them. This is the first question. This is second question.
Yeah. Second answer is the iodine one.
Yes, because obviously iodine is a better leaving group.
Yes. First one, the second one, because the first one will have more steric hindrance.
How, man?
It
This is
has,
the primary alcohol, primary this thing. This is the tertiary one, secondary one.
oh yes.
So primary is faster for SN1. So this will be faster in SN1 and this will also be faster in this one.
Yes, yes.
In both the cases, the first one. Please write down the correct explanation as well.
Yeah, I'm writing it. Just a second. Yeah, I wrote it.
Write the question and send a solution. Predict the order of reactivity in SN1 and SN2 for the four isomeric bromobutanes. First, you have to write down the four isomeric Oh, sorry. I forgot to make you write down the last point. In SN1, please write down the reaction follows retention of configuration.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that. That's a very important part. You understood how no? If a carbocation is being formed, the incoming will add wherever the last one left.
Yes.
So SN1 reaction follows retention of configuration and SN2 reaction follows inversion of configuration. Okay?
Yeah.
Jay!
So I sent it. So I sent it to your mobile phone on WhatsApp.
Yeah? What did you say?
I sent it on WhatsApp. Oh wait, I have to do SN1 and SN2. Okay.
Are you bromobutane? I said, no, why have you put C6H5 and all that?
Bromopen. Oh, butane.
Bromobutane, no. Butane is only 4, right?
Yeah.
No, C6H5 क्यों लगा दे?
Oops.
What did you think I told you?
I thought it was pentane.
Pentane में तो C6H5 नहीं आएगा. C6H5 तो benzene है.
Just change it. Just a sec.
जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा ब्रांचिंग वो SN1 के लिए फास्टेस्ट होगा.
Yeah.
जिसमें लीस्ट ब्रांचिंग वो SN2 के लिए फास्टेस्ट होगा. सेम ही है, बस उल्टा हो जाएगा. SN1 SN2.
Yeah.
उधर Done.
I'm just writing the isomers.
Okay, right done. Send me a picture here, sir.
I can't send it. It does not work on my iPad.
No, no, on WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll do that. Yes, I sent it.
This is for SN2 or SN1?
SN1.
SN1, so 4, 3, 2, 1 you have written. 4 means what?
It's the least reactive.
Okay. ठीक है. Correct.
And for
SN2 के लिए इसका उल्टा है.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Next reaction लिख लो. अब हमने substitution खत्म कर लिया है दोनों SN और SN2. Okay. Now your question is to write the difference.
Between SN1
ठीक है.
and
हाँ, एक बनाओ SN1 के लिए, एक बनाओ SN2 के लिए, और दोनों के डिफरेंस यहाँ मिनिमम 6 डिफरेंसेस आने चाहिए.
6.
हाँ, मिनिमम.
Okay.
हमने 6 डिफरेंसेस किए हैं. You just go back and see. Like one of them will be does require polar protic solvent, doesn't require polar protic solvent.
Okay.
Okay, like that. So write down 6 differences between them. Happens follows 2-degree kinetics, follows 1-degree kinetics. Like second order kinetics follows first order kinetics.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, rate depends only on one, rate depends on both.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
एक reaction. फिर inversion of configuration, retention of configuration. ठीक है. Then हाँ, ऐसे करते करते 5-6 पॉइंट्स आ जाएंगे आराम से. 6-7. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing
Now
it.
we are moving to elimination reaction.
Oh wait, I don't have to do difference right now.
ठीक है, लिख लो, अभी लिख लो, then we'll move on.
So I got 5 differences.
कौन से लिखे हैं तुमने?
I'll just send it. I sent it.
Then you could have written requires polar protic solvent, doesn't require polar
Oh
protic
yeah.
solvent.
All right.
Then you could have written the order of reactivity is this way, the order of reactivity is this way.
Got it.
That would make 7, no?
Yeah. I'll add them.
The order of reactivity with RI, RF, RBR are not differences, so don't write them.
Oh,
They
okay.
both are same for both of them. Only 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, one is different.
Yeah. SN1 does not require a polar protic solvent, right?
No man,
Oh, so
SN1
SN1
requires polar protic solvent. SN2 doesn't require.
Yeah. I finished.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, now write down second elimination reaction and I'm gonna give. So this is called beta elimination. Please write down in bracket, write down beta elimination because the elimination will only happen. It's a prerequisite if there is a hydrogen or if there is a beta hydrogen present. Do you understand what's a beta hydrogen?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. See, to the carbon a functional group is attached is called alpha. The carbons attached to the alpha carbons are referred as beta.
Oh, so the hydrogen on
So
that is
hydrogen attached to beta carbon is
beta hydrogen.
beta hydrogen. If this is there, then this reaction will happen. If this is not there, the
It won't.
reaction will not happen.
Got
That
it.
is why this reaction is termed as beta elimination.
Understood.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a statement. Please write down two statements actually. Both are very important. Whenever you're ready. Also mention on the side what is alpha, beta, all that. Written?
Yeah.
Okay, please write down. When a haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom, when a haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom, very important, is heated with alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide, is heated with alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxide,
Yeah.
there is an elimination of hydrogen atom. There is elimination of hydrogen atom. There is elimination of hydrogen atom. There is an elimination of hydrogen atom from beta carbon, and a halogen atom from alpha carbon,
Got it.
forming an alkene.
Yeah.
Forming an
Alkene.
alkene. Now, next point, very important. If there is a possibility of, if you have an unsymmetrical alkene, give me a second, okay?
Hello.
Sorry, I got a call from home.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah. So if there is an asymmetrical alkene, okay, for example, if you have like you have C, C, X, and they both have H. Okay.
Yeah,
Now, should you remove from here or should you remove from here? If you have something like that, that is when you will follow Sedzef rule.
you would remove the one which is the more
Write
substituted.
down. If there is a possibility of formation of more than one alkene, if there is a possibility of formation of more than one alkene due to availability of more than one beta hydrogen atom, due to availability of more than one beta hydrogen atom,
Yeah,
okay, one alkene is formed in majority. One alkene is formed in majority. This is determined by Saitzef rule.
got
This
it.
is determined by Saitzef rule. Then write down Saitzef rule. In dehydrohallucination reactions, in dehydrohallucination reactions, the preferred product is that alkene. Preferred product is that alkane which has the greater number of alkyl groups, which has the greater number of alkyl groups attached to the doubly bonded carbon atoms. Attached to the
Doubly bonded carbon
carbon
atom.
atom. Can you tell me what is the basis of this rule?
Meaning?
How did Zaitsev formulate this rule? Can you tell me what is the basis of this rule?
So, whichever will be the more stable one.
Yes, that is always the case. How
Yeah.
did you determine this rule that more alkenes, more alkyl group attached? Hyperconjugation.
Oh, yes.
The more alkyls are there, the more hyperconjugated structures will be there.
Yeah. That one.
Okay. Yeah, understood. Now, can you do with pentoene? Can you add? Sorry. Can you have pent 2-bromopentane, pentane, 2-bromopentane, and form pent 1-ene and pent 2-ene, and tell me which one will be majority. Which are the major product?
2-bromopentane.
2-bromopentane.
How do you do this? Like, what steps do I show?
Just for this, the beta hydrogen, find on the both side of bromine, alpha carbon to which bromine is attached, you have beta hydrogens. Once you remove this side, once you remove that side,
Okay.
one will give you pent 1-ene, one will give you pent 2-ene.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah, just doing it. So can you do it once?
Can you see what I'm writing?
Yeah.
Okay, now this also can be gone, this also can be gone, no?
Yes.
So I will form. Okay, now you see here, to the doubly bonded carbon, you have 1 and 2. Two alkyl chains here, two alkyl groups here.
Yeah.
And your doubly bonded carbon, you have just one alkyl chain here.
Yeah.
So this one will be major and this one will be
Minor.
minor. Understood?
Got it.
Can you do with, can you write this now? I'll give you one more.
Where is the? I can't see what you're writing now. Hello. Hello.
Hi, sorry, my power just went. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
so let me give you this last example. Can I do this? What will be the products here of elimination? Also, please understand you have to use alcoholic KOH.
Yeah. Yes, I finished.
Can you send me the solution?
Just a second. Yes, I sent it.
Which is the minor one?
Also, the first one. Hello.
I see that both of them have 3, 3.
Yeah, but the first one still has a.
Wouldn't there be any other? There will be one more compound, no? नीचे वाला भी तो बीटा ही है.
Oh, you can have more than two. Okay.
Yes, obviously. जितने भी बीटा है सब हट सकते हैं. तो
Okay,
ये दोनों जो होंगे ना ये क्या बोलते हैं मिक्स में आएंगे लाइक 40-40%
okay, got
या
it.
45-45% और ये जो तीसरा वाला होगा वो 10% होगा.
Okay, I'll just do it. So the last one, there will be double bond towards the bottom one, and it will be CH2, right?
हाँ.
Yeah.
वहां पे सिर्फ 2 ही एल्कीन होंगे.
Yeah, got it.
ठीक है. लास्ट वाला कर लेते हैं. Then this reaction of haloalkanes will be over. Then we'll have reactions of haloarenes and uses of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay. That will finish next.
Metals
What?
with metals.
This is the last of reaction of haloalkanes. Reaction with haloarenes and uses we'll do next class, and this chapter will be over. We'll do some more questions.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so write down the last one is reaction with metals. Can you please keep writing all these classes there?
Sorry?
Can you please keep writing this thing? You have that sheet, no?
Yeah, I could not find the sheet, so my mom made another.
Okay, that's fine. Somewhere, please keep writing, okay? Because these classes are not tracking this thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
although the thing is, there's a lot of things happening at my home right now. I'm like really not able to maintain any of these records.
Yeah, no problem. My mom is writing.
Yeah, thank you. There are two reactions here, very important. So first one is, are you done? Shall we start?
Yeah. In this only you use Grignard reagent, right?
This is the Grignard reagent. Formation of Grignard reagent. The first reaction.
Yeah. And second is Wurtz.
Wurtz reaction. Yes, very important.
Yeah.
The formation of Grignard reagent is you take a Rx, okay,
Plus Mg.
and you react with Mg in
MgX.
triether. Triether is a solvent you use,
Yeah.
and you'll get RMgX. Now let's discuss a few qualities of RMgX. This is a highly ionic bond, and this is a covalent bond.
Covalent.
Okay, this is highly this thing to water. This is a high affinity towards water. It can take like water from anywhere, even from alcohols.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you put this, what will form is ROH Mg plus HX.
So it is very polar, right?